And right out of that hole, just pulled a little spoon handle, somewhat decorative. Might have been plated at one time. It's a good sign. Okay, got about a 91, 93 signal, popped a plug, and this fell off the bottom of the plug. I haven't flipped it over yet, so we thought we'd take a look at it together. Oh wow, it says something on the bottom too. Check that out. Some kind of a shield. I can't make out the words. I have to get it under a magnifying glass. Tribe Captain? Something like that. An arrowhead with an Indian head on it. It's drying out a little bit now. It's getting some detail. Well, that's pretty cool looking. Wonder what it was a part of. Might have been a hat badge. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to research that one.
The Lone Scouts of America was a scouting organization for American boys that operated from 1915 until it merged with the Boy Scouts of America in 1924. The LSA was founded by William D. Boyce, publisher of the Chicago Ledger and the Saturday Blade, and one of the founders of the BSA. Boyce felt that the program of the BSA did not help the rural boy who could not find enough other boys to form a troop or a patrol. After Boyce left the BSA, he started the Lone Scouts of America and incorporated it on January 9, 1915. Boyce became the executive officer or chief totem, and Frank Allen Morgan became the editor of the Lone Scout magazine. In October 1915, Boyce appointed all of his paper boys as members of the LSA and published the first issue of the Lone Scout magazine. The LSA program was inspired by the Lonecraft program of the British Boy Scout Association and by the Woodcraft Indians program that used American Indian themes. No adult leaders were required in the Lone Scout program, and there were no age limits. By November 1915, over 30,000 members were reported. Lone Scouts who lived near each other could form a local tribe, while others could form a male tribe and communicate via post. Tribes could join together to form wigwams. And by October 1916, the LSA reported 133,000 members.
Right under the surface down there, strong 93 signal. It's like the face of a lock plate. Turn of the century. Pretty cool. Just closing up a plug right here, and something caught my eye. I looked over. Here's something you don't see very often. $1 the hard way. Solid 90 signal right on the bottom of the plug here. Some kind of a fob, like a key fob. The top part might be missing. Huh. Steadfast shoe. Well, here's a nice high tone, and it's another piece of that lock. Look at that, where someone was banging on it. It's all dented and bruised. That's crazy. Check this out, sticking outside the hole here. Look at this. I saw a pattern on it, and it's a leaf. Kind of a leaf pattern. It's real thin. Wow. Yeah, there's a little hook right there. Well, it's getting a little breezy out here, but was able to sniff out another goodie here in the shallow iron infested soil. Little sterling clip. I believe it says sterling there. Well, I find lots of puzzlers at this site. Here's yet another one. Got a little shield with some stars. It says exempt US. It's not a button unless it's the face of a button that has come apart. That's a puzzler. Well, a little squeaker that I just pulled out here with the Deus and that little elliptical coil. It's a wheat penny, but it came out of almost 8 inches down. It's at least 7 inches, 1920 something. Looks like there's a mint mark there too. So, you know, that's pretty decent. I love this little program that I'm running. That's almost 8 inches on a wheat penny with the little coil. Pretty sweet. Wind is starting to kick up out here, but I found another decent signal at the bottom of that plug. Just uncovered. Little old brass buckle. Well, it's getting a little breezy out here, but I wanted to show you something really cool. Just came right out from under the coil. Some kind of a tax shield here. It says Atlanta 1923. I don't know if that's like a chauffeur's badge or what, but probably went on a car, I would guess. That's where they screwed it in. Well, again, I'm just working my way real slow through all this iron. The little elliptical coil on the Deus. I've got a nice penny signal here in the plug. And I think it's a token or something. Look at this. No idea. Hoping the back might have some names on it. I don't see anything. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure what it is, but I like it. Just broke the plug open. I think we got a token. It's larger than a penny. Almost looks like a Chinese coin with a hole in the middle. Yeah, it's too thin, I think. Yeah, we'll clean it up a little bit. That's going to take some cleaning. Alright, up shallow in the plug, about 4 inches deep, just broke it open. It's kind of a heart pendant. Looks like it might be silver plated. Well, there might be something carved onto it there. Well, we dug a lot of holes today. Had a lot of fun, man. Here's a look at some of the trash and some of the lesser desirables here. Some milk glass in the hole. Coca-Cola bottle. What used to be. An old cap gun frame. A lot of different things here. Spoon. A lot of coverall buttons. Some other glass. A lot of brass, a lot of copper. Dug a lot of holes. This one's going in the keeper pile. All right, let's do the wrap up. All right, well, it's time to wrap this one up. Man, I dug a lot of targets. That site, every time I go there, it just keeps giving. I find a little pocket of goodies, work it real slow with that Deus and the small coil, and a lot of goodies come out. It's a pretty fun site to hunt. So I ended up with a total of 2, 4, 6, 8 wheat pennies, ranging in age from 1917 to 1950s. Most of them in the 17, 18, 20s, That's kind of the dates that I think this house site was populated at that time. So most of these relics are from that time period. Ended up finding both pieces to this lock, which is pretty crazy, this big brass lock. And you know, the funny thing is this backside where you can see they hammered on it with something and it's all dented in. So that's pretty crazy. I did find this taxi badge, this license. I'm going to have to work on getting that bent out straight so that I can display it properly. It should look pretty nice, I think, when it's all said and done. Here's a dog rabies tag from the 50s, that little buckle I found at the end. Here's a little more info on this piece. It is a key fob in the shape of a boot heel. And Smith Briscoe Shoe Company out of Lynchburg, Virginia, made the Steadfast shoe line of shoes. So that's kind of a neat little key fob. Got a little ding in the end here that I did not put on it, but that's pretty cool. There's that Mississippi tax token and this real interesting piece of copper or brass here, this leaf. There's 2 holes punched in it here, and it has this little pinhole here. So I don't know, I'm thinking it might be a pin or maybe something off a mobile. I don't know. Cool looking piece though. Here's that silver little pin that I found. I have to be kind of careful with it because it's 100% sterling. Even the pin itself is sterling. I'll show you the sterling mark on the back right here. It's a pretty little piece. It's got some stones in it, but it's just glass, just cheap glass. You can see a few of them have popped out. They're missing. But the base itself is sterling. Real pretty little piece. Here's a little piece of trashed aluminum. It's funny, as I went through my trash pouch, I found so many pieces that I pulled out. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. I have no idea what that is off of, but obviously a child's toy or something. Here's that locket, and the cool thing about this is that it did open. I opened it to clean it. There was nothing in it, of course. I'll open it a little bit for you here. No pictures, no money, but pretty cool. This piece is something pretty cool. This little exempt US, I had no idea what I had found here. This is actually a World War I lapel button, or a stud. So in other words, it went with a pin on the back that slid onto it, so you could put it on your lapel. It was worn by men during the World War I era to show that they were exempt from the U.S. draft. There was a lot of draft dodging and slacking going on at that time, so a lot of guys were rounded up actually and arrested because they were not drafted or didn't put in for the draft. So this collar lapel meant that you had went through the rigors of the draft and you were exempt. So they wore those in the World War I era, which is pretty cool. Then there's this coin or medallion. This is that Woodsman coin. There's 3 gentlemen on there that were part of that Woodsman coalition. The back does have some markings on it saying it's the golden anniversary. Right there. Pretty neat piece. Boy, did that ring up nice on the detector though. It just rang in loud and clear. And you saw how it was laying in the plug. It was flat. Hope you liked the piece on the history behind this Lone Scout group. I honestly had never heard of them before. They were only in existence for, what, 8 or 7 years or so. But LSA, Lone Star, or Lone Scout Association, the tribe captain would have worn this little badge. Pretty cool piece. I really like the history behind that, so I thought I would share it with you. You know, that pretty much sums it up. I've got an old saddle shield up here. You know, the goodies just keep coming out of the ground at this site, guys, so I'm going to stick with it. It's that early 1900s home site, so there's not going to be anything, you know, extremely rare that I dig from that site, but it's just so much fun to hunt. It's a good, safe place to be during the hunting season, and I just have a blast out there. It's a great little location, so get out there, have some fun this winter, and if you're covered deep in snow, watch some metal detecting videos, guys. Hey, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.